Hi guys, Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin as general manager of this site. I just want to point out to you again that we've got something unique to this business. I started it over 9 years ago, only guy to do it back then, and still the best in the business. It's the Cappers Consensus. And what that is, you can get my plays, the plays of all the handicappers at the site today at one massively reduced price. And we do it for a reason, to save you money and to make you money.
This is such a great thing that you came up with for many reasons. You got two types of gamblers out there that use our service. The guys that have no opinion and they latch on to a hot handicapper and trust his opinion. And then you have the guys that have their own opinion, and it's a decent opinion. And they like to use the Cappers Consensus because they read all the top experts' opinions, see which one jives with their own opinion, and then that's the play that they make. So having this information at their fingertips is so very valuable to them, and not having to spend a ton of money to get it makes it a no-brainer.
And that's exactly why I used the word consensus when I came up with this all those years ago. Cappers Consensus, that's exactly how you use it. And guys, listen, if you bought my plays and the plays of all the other handicappers at this site, Anthony Red and Jeff Benton and Craig Davis, who's been red hot, you buy all their plays separately, you're spending $600, $700, $800. You're getting it at a massive price reduction, and you get all the plays. Welcome back, everyone, to the Countdown to Kickoff program. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin. Joining us via video conference, Trace Adams, as he does every single week here on the program. Trace, a veteran handicapper like myself, over 20 years in the business, coming to you from Atlanta, all dressed up,
looking
spiffy
sharp.
there,
I was gonna
little
say that.
holiday
I didn't want to
sweater
interrupt
vest going.
Trace,
Yeah.
you're looking sharp today, buddy.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, my man.
Hey, let's get to the first game here on the board. It's going to be Kansas City and Oakland. The Chiefs, of course, we know the deal there, pulling off one of the biggest upsets of the entire season, handing the Packers their first loss. Romeo Crennel, the interim debut for him last week. I hope this doesn't mean the Chiefs are suddenly going to give this guy a job, because he couldn't get the job done as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns for all those years. Big deal. They won one game. But I do like the fact that they made the move to Kyle Orton, and Orton, of course, gave them some offense. 23 for 31, 299 yards. Geez. A Chiefs quarterback that can throw the ball effectively. That kind of helps.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, they were knocking on the Packers' doorstep all game long in that contest. Probably should have had a few more touchdowns than they had. But I like Kansas City in this game. Of course, they routed Oakland way back when in October, 38-0 in the first meeting. And they've got a little revenge on their side here because they've lost 4 in a row now at home to Oakland, and they've lost against the spread to Oakland 5 straight times at Arrowhead. But as we all know, Oakland allowed Detroit to backdoor them last week, and that's 3 straight losses now for Oakland, and that was a real back-breaking loss for the Raiders. I like the Chiefs here. If they can win out and get some things going in their favor, they can still win the division. Give me Kansas City in this one.
Yeah, and I agree with you because, Kansas City, of course, played so well last week. And this Raiders team, their previous 2 road games got absolutely destroyed at Green Bay, at Miami, a team that had played so well initially this season on the road. But again, their problems, no defense, can't stop the run, don't get much of a pass rush, secondary is shaky. Well, that's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. Look, Kyle Orton doing his best Clark Kent last week. He was seen coming out of a phone booth with a red cape on. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not buying it. I like Oakland here, plus the points on the road. I think they're the real team. I think they show up.
Of course, he liked Denver last week, too. So what can I say? Joe, Tracy, just joking around with you. I don't want to, don't want to get him too ticked off here.
When you're right, you're right. I can't say anything about that.
Okay, all jokes aside, Trace, let's get to the next game. Giants and Jets. Steve and I, he thinks the way to go in this game is the under. I lean a little toward the Jets. I don't want to play the game. I'll turn to you. Who do you like?
Yeah, they're both predictably unpredictable. I mean, I'm still mystified at the no-show the Giants had last week at home against Washington. Same can be said for the Jets. I mean, I thought they would lose to the Eagles. I didn't think they'd get pounded like that. But the bottom line is I think you have to take the points here because the G-Men, 4-2 this year against the spread as an underdog, and the J-Men just 4-5 against the spread when favored. And at the end of the day, who do I trust more, Eli Manning or Mark Sanchez? I guess I'll side with Eli and take the points and go with Big Blue in this one.
Okay, you're on the Giants. Last game, San Diego and Detroit Chargers making their late season charge, 3 straight wins. That Lions comeback last week, Matthew Stafford was just phenomenal against the Raiders. Of course, again, it's the Raiders defense. Which way do you go here? Side, total?
I like the total. Every once in a while, I like to bring you guys a total, and this is my over special of the week. I see a lot of points being scored indoors at Ford Field. San Diego has gone over now 2 of their last 3 and 3 of their last 5. And the Lions, of course, they went way over last week against Oakland. They've been over their last pair and 5 of their last 7. I think offense rules the day, and we've got an over between the Chargers and the Lions.
I can certainly see his point because Chargers have gone over in 9 of their last 10 on the road. I like San Diego in this game because Detroit, as I've said repeatedly this season, you can't stop the run. Chargers can run the ball with Tolbert and Matthews. And the Lions, of course, defensively overall, they stink. That's the bottom line. San Diego's playing with confidence. Philip Rivers is looking like the Philip Rivers of a couple of years ago. So I think it's going to be a barn burner. I certainly like the over, but I like the Chargers to win the game outright.
Well, right on schedule. Norv Turner shows up at the end of the season to make a push so he keeps his job next year. I like San Diego also. I had Detroit last week, got the push on the show. But this week, I think I actually had San Diego as well last week. So my perception on both of these teams have been pretty good. I give the edge to San Diego here, taking the points on the road.
Okay, guys, listen. Trace Adams, 4-0 NFL sweep last weekend, 2-0 Sunday, 2-0 on Monday night, 47-25 run with his pay after you win plays. Not too shabby. Check it out. Trace has got a daily video report just like myself, free to watch, no registration, no purchase required, where he breaks down games, gives you free picks daily. Probably doesn't look as nattily dressed as he does today on the videos.
Obviously, people have been paying after they win because look at the way he's dressed.
Maybe that's it, but I like the vest thing. We won't do the vest.
No, that won't look it on us.
Hey, Trace, thanks for joining us. We will catch you next weekend, and have a happy holidays to you and your family.
All right.
Steve, before we take a quick break here, let's turn to the Washington-Minnesota game, as I alluded to earlier. I liked the Redskins last week against the New York Giants. Of course, with the Redskins, it's a schizophrenic team because you've got Rex Grossman at quarterback. Couple interceptions early, late. He looked like dynamite against the Giants. But they have covered 4 of their last 5. But they've only won 2 of those 5 games. But you've got a Minnesota team that's lost 6 in a row. That defense, that secondary, I've repeatedly said this season how they have been scorched. They have given up 4 times more touchdown passes and interceptions they've recorded. They've given up almost 68% completions to opposing quarterbacks. I don't think Minnesota can stop Washington in this spot.
Well, I was wrong about both of these teams last week, so I don't know if I'm the right one to ask, but I feel the same way. Everyone's talking about Adrian Peterson coming back this week and how that's going to positively affect Minnesota, but their problem is defense, not offense. They can't stop anybody. I think Rex Grossman comes in here with an easy task. I think he gets the win and the cover, and I think that's the way it goes down.
Yeah, and listen, Peterson's not going to be as effective running outside on the turf, coming back still from that ankle injury. Redskins can put pressure on opposing quarterbacks, so Christian Ponder may have his hands full. And the nice thing about the Redskins, they have their full offensive arsenal now. You've got Santana Moss back. You've got Ray Healy, who's come out of nowhere to really bolster that injury-depleted backfield, to give them a solid ground game. And that makes Grossman, who is inconsistent, certainly a reliable quarterback. Guys, when we come back after this short break, we're going to talk about how you have a chance to win $300 of my money absolutely free by playing fantasy football. And it's not the type where you have to wait to get your payoff till February, guys. Instant gratification. Steve and I will be talking about that in just a moment, plus breaking down more of your games here on the Countdown to Kickoff program. We will be coming your way in just 2 minutes. We'll catch you then.